You men take your value for granted. You think what you do and who you take care of proves your value. No. Where you get your true value from is when you value yourself. When you understand that you was put here for a purpose. Your life is not. It's not just nothing, man. You being here for no reason don't exist. Your existence as a man itself proves you made it here against all odds. I'm tired of seeing men giving up not valuing their life. Thinking you better off not being here than you are being here. That just don't make sense. You was put here on this earth for a reason. And I think men should sit back and think about that and give that. $600,000 being a year unalive themselves, not even giving themselves the chance to see things out, not giving themselves the opportunity to see where things might change in later on in life, not even valuing themselves enough to think they was put here for a reason. I refuse to. I don't accept that. No, no, I refuse to let men sit around and mope and wallow and pity and think not being here is a better choice than being here. We just lost a football player, Rudy Johnson. Probably had more things and did more as a person or as a man than any other man on this planet. He was able to put himself in the top 1%. And still that wasn't enough. No, I refuse. No, fellas, we gotta toughen up. We gotta stop letting material things, us buying our mama a house, our childhood trauma, us not being in a position to where we were spoon fed. We can't let that be something that we use to just give up on life, bro. No. No, fellas. We can't, because we got a lot of podcasts where we talk and we discuss relationship dynamics, and we try to hold women accountable, which they need to be held accountable. Hey, Lily, but we need to hold ourselves accountable too. I refuse to let us as men accept choosing not living or reliving. I don't agree with that, because I know us as men, we have something in us to where we can be valued and important in this life, even if we're not important and valuable to the people that we was born into family with. I think you valuable outside of that. You made it here against all odds, man. And for you to just take that away, no. So I'm gonna start coming on this live. And I'm gonna start talking into this camera until I get it through man head that fellas, men, boys, you are valuable, man. You're valuable to your mama. And if you ain't got a good mama or a good daddy, you're valuable to a friend. You're valuable to a family member. You're valuable to somebody else that can use your knowledge, use your skill set. You know what I mean? Use your warm and good nature as a person. I don't think giving up and taking ourselves out is the way to go. I don't agree with that. I don't like it. And I'm gonna start focusing on that more when I start making videos and when I start going live. I'm gonna be very transparent and very honest when I'm talking to this camera. Because too many men, when I heard 600,000 men take themselves out, even if it was, I don't care if it was even half of that. I don't care if it was even 30,000. That's unacceptable. We cannot be running around here and trying to hold women accountable. You know what I mean? And hold kids accountable or hold society accountable. You know, and we can't talk about this or make this a topic of discussion. This is about to be my new content from here on out, because men have lost. I get back in the day. I get, hundreds of years ago where men had to sacrifice themselves, and they did, transition on when it was things going on to where men had to put their life on the line. But not having to put your life on the line and we still out here taking ourselves out at the hands of our own self, it's unacceptable. We are way more stronger. We are way more logical. We are way more capable of making things better and making things comfortable enough or fit into our worldview to where we can use how we see things and use that as something that we can focus on to where we can take our mind off the stress, the depression, you know, not being loved by women, having a fucked up father, you know, having a bad childhood, not having money like everybody else have. We need to use our pain and our less fortunate circumstances to push forward, you know what I mean, and make something greater out of ourselves than let that get the best of us to where we don't see no light at the end of the tunnel. No, I'm sorry. I can't accept that, fellas. Instead of holding women accountable, you know, society accountable, we need to start focusing on what we can do to give men who don't have a purpose or a man who misguided and undecided something to look forward to. Yeah. I mean, that's very traumatic. That's very that's very heart. That breaks my heart. You know, I can't push forward, or I can't, you know, go through life and try to make myself better and be better and make other people better and raise good kids and raise good the next generation, and not put man issues in that category too. You know, we don't get enough. We don't get enough. We don't get enough publicity. We don't get enough light being shined on the issues. In particular, you know, men taking themselves out because they don't see nothing to look forward to. Like, that's unacceptable. Like, they want to talk about violence and the community and people being but like they talk about a whole bunch of bullshit, but 600,000 men a year can unalive themselves, and we don't got nobody talking about it. We don't got nobody, you know what I'm saying, making this something that we need to see as a priority, something that we need to take serious, you know, because all we focus on is illegal immigrants, who's gonna be the next president, who's gonna get government assistance, white people not liking black people being mad at white people still talk about slavery. We still so focused on stuff that don't matter. But we can lose 600,000 men a year and just sweep it up under the rug. And let alone we want to talk about the birth rate crisis. How can women have families? How can women have men that they can start a family with if the men are out here unaliving themselves? Like, make it make sense. Like somebody give me, somebody tell me something. Kids going missing. Women, you know, going far left to where they don't want to have kids. They don't want to, sacrifice nothing for the average guy. The average guy don't want to deal with the average chick because the average woman see him as scum of the earth. Or she push him to the side because she want to go deal with people like Chris Brown, P. Diddy. Like women rather be passed around by all the guys at the top. Because think about it, they got Instagram, Facebook, Raya, all the platforms where they can meet guys that's not, you know what I mean, in their tax bracket, or they can meet guys who don't want to commit to them. But at the same time, the women can go through life and live their life, be traumatized, but the men don't even get a chance to live their life at all because they don't see nothing. They don't see a reason to live. They don't see a reason to contribute to society. Like, how do we expect men to sacrifice and keep society going? Which that's what we do. That's a good thing. But how long do we expect this to keep on going on? And the man don't get no benefits from it. And like I said, I said, you got to do things and put in work and be resourceful. Because one thing I noticed about how men behave, we always try to do things for not just for the betterment of us. We try to do things for the betterment of other people. You know what I mean? Also, like you can't. It's so hard to even. It's so hard to even be mad at the men who have mustered up the courage to sacrifice themselves. Because they're like, damn, no matter what I do, and no matter how much I give back, you know what I'm saying? To the people that I actually care about, it ain't gonna get me nowhere. Now you gotta think about that. Like that's a hard pill to swallow. You know what I mean? Women would never have to worry about not being wanted by the opposite gender. You know what I mean? But men do everything that we do for the opposite gender. And all we ask for is a little bit of appreciation and reciprocation. And we get, not even a bare, like women say, always talk about the bare minimum. But men don't even get the bare minimum of respect of their counterparts that they love so much that man will, because it don't happen to me overnight. Like this is like, it's like something that a man probably been going through for a while. And he like, damn, you keep on having some type of hope or some type of, little bit of, you know, some type of something to look for, to hold on to. But think about it. As a man, when you lose that small bit of hope that you had, and that you think, and you think, and you think things is going to work out, and you think things are going to get better, and when you just don't see no progress, you just be like, fuck it. Man, I'm gonna keep it real. Y'all do not get enough credit. Y'all do not get enough respect. Y'all do not get enough appreciation for the things that y'all do every day. Like a lot of y'all men go outside every day and put y'all life on the line for careers, being able to feed your family, being able to contribute to society. And don't get no respect for it. I find it very, I find it very, I find it very, very, very rich. And I find it very, inconsiderate of people to show more respect and show more of a show some type of show more of a, look at this, show more of a honor and respect, and I'm just saying, they show more rappers and show more entertainers more of a, it's sad that we show people who do things that's not even something that we should be making them famous for. Like doctors, nurses save people every day, work long hours, How the fuck is we looking up to people like LeBron James, but Ben Carson, a surgeon, black man, don't get the same respect? How? We more worried about politics, Civil War, but 600,000 men can unalive themselves a year. That's not head news though. Chris Brown could take a picture with your girl, charge her $1,200 picture. You know, you idolize Chris Brown. He passed girls around. But somebody like Ice Cube, they've been with their wife since they've been, what, 20 some years old. They never in the news. They never the top. They never the big topic. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why men just don't see no benefit. It's so sad that men ain't even seeing a benefit to live their life. And I'm talking about shit on live right now. Ain't even nobody in the chat. But if I was out here being chaotic, you know, I was out here being a fucking animal, and I was talking about men issues, and 600,000 men unalive themselves every year, I have a whole audience. We cooked. We cooked, bro. It's over. It's over, bro. Society, the whole world is gonna crumble, bro. We be talking about we worried about AI. I mean, AI need to be like, bro. Why not? At least AI gonna try to improve itself, you know, and make itself better. Human beings, we ain't doing none of that shit. Only thing we doing is making it worse for each other. Cooked. Now I see why men don't unalive themselves at an alarming rate every year. Because don't nobody give a fuck. Even the people that's supposed to have their back, they don't even give a fuck. Nobody cares about a man's struggle. Not even men. Bruh. Now I see why dudes be depressed. I see why men, you know, take themselves out. because I'm smart enough to understand to put myself in somebody else's shoes. Just because I'm strong enough to survive this, I'm strong enough to have the mental strength. I get it. But cook. Don't nobody give a damn about men, mental health, their background, how hard they had it in life, who they had and didn't have in life. They had a good mama, no daddy. Only thing men gotta hear is you can do it, you know, struggle through it, you know, figure out a way. But don't nobody say, if you're going through something, come talk to me. You need somebody to vent to, come talk to me. You need a hug, let me give you a hug. Let me tell you I love you. Most men unalive themselves for the most part. Mostly because they never even just had somebody to tell them, I love you, bro. I love you, babe. Show some type of compassion. You act like men are robots. Most people act like men are, animals. You have no right to judge men, but unaliving themselves and don't want to be here no more. They don't feel like they don't want to waste their time, contribute to a society to where don't nothing benefit them. I don't want to hear it. Men's mental health month, women laugh at it. Men don't take it serious. People rather push the WNBA and make that a priority. They worry about 600,000 men in the USA a year taking themselves off this planet, all because, for the most part, nobody told them, I love you, bro. Men had to go through their whole life seeing women get all the favoritism, seeing women get all the opportunities, seeing the opposite gender getting all, the empathy, the sympathy, you know, saying you could be whatever you want, why they can't even just get a small gesture of appreciation. Crazy. And the funny part, I ain't even speaking about this from the way I feel, or the way I see things. I'm speaking about this, and I'm saying this for the men who can't speak up for themselves, for the men who don't have the courage to get on this camera, you know, and talk freely, for the men who took themselves out yesterday, today, day before yesterday. Men deserve way more gratitude, appreciation, empathy, and love more than is shown to them on a daily basis. Yeah. Talking about men right now. We put here to be slaves, man. On my damn nose. But I'm here to tell men, fellas, you are here for a reason. You are important. Real talk. Your life means something. That's a fact. Because none of this shit that we see around us, none of this stuff will be built. None of this stuff will be easily accessible if it weren't for men. You are way more important than you think. You, men, you are literally the foundation of keeping humanity alive. Period. Yeah. Man, you are the foundation of keeping humanity alive. That's a fact. They don't want to give you your credit, man. You as a man, they want to hide your, you know what I'm saying? They want to make it seem like you ain't as valuable as you really is. $150.